The fact that you guys have played a knockout tournament already this season and went through that, how much does that help in a kind of a do-or-die scenario?
Yeah, definitely. You can feel more pressure when it's a playoff game and where you know it might be your last game, and having that experience of playing in the Open Cup, and not only that, but knowing what it takes to win a trophy, it can go a long way in this league. So I think having that experience already this year is definitely an advantage for us.
Is the fact that it is a win-or-go-home kind of scenario, does the coaching staff address that with you guys at all, or are you guys to the point where we understand what's kind of in front of us here?
Yeah, I mean, they bring it up, but I think we all are smart enough to know what's at hand and what the playoffs mean, and we know that it's kind of do or die at this point. This is, the first game of the 3-game series might not feel that way, but now we know that this is it. There is no tomorrow, so you got to leave everything on the field and do everything you can to get the win.
Joe, last week, they kind of get you guys over the middle hump, but we can beat these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think, this season we've talked a lot about firsts and being the first to do something, and winning that game last week was the first time we've beat Miami this year, and I think that gives us a lot of confidence going into this next game. We've proven to ourselves that we can beat them, and I think we've learned a lot about them, and we've learned a lot about ourselves from that game and what it takes to beat them.
Kevin?
Joe, what's your perspective? What's your preparation look like as a goalkeeper for a player like Lionel Messi? Are you watching him in a different way, or more than you would maybe another forward, just with him on the field?
I wouldn't say the preparation's any different, but you have to be aware that he can do anything with the ball. He can shoot from distance, he can dribble players, he can slip passes into other guys, so you need to be fully prepared for the whole spectrum of plays that you need to make. And he's very unpredictable in a lot of ways. He's also predictable in some ways, but very unpredictable in a lot of ways, so you need to be prepared to take any kind of action.
With this being the 4th game against Miami that you guys have played in 3 weeks, how have you seen that play out how have you seen that dynamic play out on the field? Is there any maybe intensity that's grown? Are there any maybe tactical or strategic shifts you really picked up on?
Yeah, definitely. I think there has been a lot of tension growing over the past few games, and I think it's turning into more than just a soccer game. In this league, we like to talk a lot about rivalries, and Miami and we both came into the league at the same time, so that's something that we have always remembered and have always thought about, and we're similar to being brothers in that way, in that we came into the league at the same time, and we're always competing with each other to be the first to do something. And so I think over the last few games, like I said, you've seen a lot of tension building, a little bit of animosity towards each other, and I think it's going to be bigger than just a soccer game tomorrow.
Joe, you already mentioned a lot of the qualities that we all know from Messi anyways, but from all those goals that happened between these two teams in the last 3 games, would you feel like, from your vantage point as a goalkeeper, that many of those goals could have been avoided somehow because of your position in the field or the way the guys went after it?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, we've looked at all the goals and analyzed them, and have thought about and talked about what we could have done differently from an individual standpoint and from a team standpoint. At the end of the day, he's a good player, and good players score goals. So, we're not too focused on the past at this point. We've like I said, done our video analysis and put it to bed, and now we're focused on the next game.
BJ was saying last week that there's no reason or there's no more effort needed to motivate this team for these games. How's this week been for you guys, and how motivated you are for this final game of the season?
Yeah, we're extremely motivated. We don't view it as our final game of the season. We view it as the next game of our season. Like I said, the last game and the last few games, there's been some tension growing. So this isn't how we want to go out. losing to Miami. We want to, you know, prove our worth in this league and show everyone what we can do. And we believe in this locker room that we are more than capable of doing it.
Yeah, Joe, first game against Miami on decision day, you guys conceded 5 goals, then you conceded 3, and then you conceded 1. Yeah, as a team, are you figuring something out in terms of how to defend against this Miami team, or is this just kind of a coincidence when it comes to the numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are definitely learning about them, and we're learning what it takes to not only prevent them from scoring, but to score more goals for ourselves and to make it a more competitive game. I think a big, you know, tactics aside, I think a big part of it is mentality and taking it personal. I think losing at home on decision day and giving up 5 goals is something that we all take very personally. We feel embarrassed by that result, and we're determined to not let something like that happen again. And in that aspect, you know, I think we learned a lot about ourselves and who we are as people, and how we want to, you know, present ourselves moving forward.
And then with the possibility of this game going to penalties, do you as a goalkeeper kind of want it to go to that way because, you know, it gives you a little bit of a spot on the spotlight? And also, how do you prepare for penalties?
No, I mean, I don't really want it to go to penalties. If it goes there, then it does, but I'd rather win it in regular time. But we do a lot of prep work with the penalties, a lot of video of, you know, guys who would potentially take them and where they've gone in the past and what their run-ups are like and what their tendencies are. So at the end of the day, you know, it's that none of that really matters. You know, you can study someone who goes a certain way 10 times out of 10, and then on the final day they go the other way. So it's a lot of it is, you know, how you're feeling in the moment and trusting your gut.
BJ's talked about, especially after decision day, just kind of wanting to force Miami to go wide and kind of keep them out of the middle of the field. How do you view your role kind of in organizing the back line, and what are some kind of things that you've noticed as you guys have tried to do that over the past 2 games? Yeah,
I think staying compact. You've seen that we've kind of moved to a more 4-3-3 defensive shape and forced them wide. I think, among other things, my ability to organize the back four, and beyond that, the 3 in front of them. When some guys get pulled out, we need to replace them with someone else. I think also forcing them wide means we're going to be seeing more crosses. So dealing with crosses, whether it's you know, high hanging balls or low balls that we've seen a lot of in the first couple games. But I think for me the biggest point is you know, staying organized and making sure that we have spots filled where we want to have them, and whether it's, you know, a center back in a center back role, or if a center back gets pulled out and we need to bring a center midfielder into that role, just staying organized and making sure we have those filled.
And then you've talked a lot just in this press conference just about the tension. BJ's talked about all year wanting you guys to toe the line, but not to cross it. I'm curious, going into a game like this where it's win or go home, you have kind of the added stuff with Suarez, the suspension and all that. It feels like it's going to be a very tense game. How do you kind of try to stay aggressive and be up for that without kind of going over the line?
Yeah, I think you have to use that emotion and use that to you know, propel yourself, but at the same time keep your head and remember what has made us successful this year and in the last game, and part of that is playing good soccer and keeping the ball and you know, having good tactics, you know, our attacking formation and our attacking shape and relying on those things, because when the emotions get high, you tend to think about those things less. So having a good foundation and knowing that we've, you know, been able to do this all year with scoring goals, you know, that's something we need to rely on.
Good.
Joe, is all the pressure in this game on Miami?
Yeah, probably. I think anytime this game or this series has been talked about, it's been messy, basically. So I think there is a lot of pressure on them to be successful with how much money they've spent to bring players in, and I think the eyes are always on them, and we're kind of an afterthought in this series, and we know that, and we take that personally. But that being said, I think there's always pressure on every team in a playoff game, but that can be a good thing, and I think we are going to be able to use that to our advantage.
Is it the ultimate challenge, playing a knockout game on the road and coming away with the win?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's something really nice about winning games in front of your home fans, but there's also something nice about upsetting 30,000 road fans. It's a little different, but just as nice.
Yeah. For some of our kids, the goalkeeper is the hero because he's who have in charge to no goals coming to our team. What is the message you have for them? And also, are you ready? Because we see they grow up. Congratulations, the whole team and also you to be working with, playing with in front of Messi, but that you don't have enough. For example, the last one, you have only one goal, and in other ones you have more goals. And then we see the whole team are working so hard to be better. So what is the message for the little ones who are expecting you win tomorrow?
The message would be thank you for your support, and I don't really view the goalkeeper as a hero. That's the goal scorers who are the heroes. They're the ones who win the games. We just do our part to help the team, but I think knowing your role in the team is always important, and working your hardest to fulfill that role and to help the team any way you can is the most important thing.